The whole concept, or the whole kind of premise behind 24 Hours of Lemons, is to go up there with a hoopty.
All these pretty much rich white guys would bring their really expensive race cars out and go drive them around, and most of them don't know how to drive worth their shit and crash them, and at the end of the day they'd have a glass of wine to feel better.
I think to me what the American spirit is that openness and that mix of cultures and that embracing different cultures and what each one brings to it.
The American spirit to me has always been about people coming from other places. I mean, we're really a nation of immigrants, and building something from nothing, growing something from the earth that turns into a product that people can share with other people.
If you look at the backdrop behind me and the fact that we have this wonderful home in the beautiful Sonoma Valley, and all of what we do is very caught up in the culture, the food and the wine culture that Sonoma Valley is really defined by.
People have come to Sonoma from many, many places and for different reasons, and whether it's in the wine industry, but also the cheeses and all kinds of agricultural products.
You come here and you do whatever you want, and a lot of people chose automotive racing.
I think anytime you mix cultures, you adding more ingredients to a stew, right? It all brings different things together. We all bring some of our idiosyncrasies. I think it's a win-win for everybody.
I was working up in the wine country, up in Sonoma a couple months ago, shooting aerials for a winery called Gunlook Bunshu. And on our way back, I pulled into Sonoma Raceway driving my big 1972 RevCon RV. And I got a lot of strange looks from the people in the parking lot.
I think in general Sonoma is less elitist than most wine regions. I think that if you go to Bordeaux or Napa or some of the other areas in the country, they tend to be a little bit more elitist. Sonoma has always been about farmers and farming and agriculture and friendly people, and therefore it's just a very inviting environment.
As a tourist location or as a winery, we try to talk to people that like fine wines, that like restaurants, that have a certain income, and you try to pick and choose. The racetrack brings people that maybe they're not in our core, but people start drinking wine at some point in their life, whether it's they're discovering or they are maybe also savvy wine drinkers that also like car races. It's not one or the other, you can have both.
On a typical weekend, it's usually like guys showing off their $150,000 Porsche or their $300,000 Ferrari, or beyond that I don't even know, because I don't pay attention to those kinds of cars because I'll never have one. So this is my way and my team's way of getting access to the track, because it's as I said earlier, it's racing for the 99%. We're not up there to show off our fancy car. The more beat up and ghetto looking your car, the better.
The people that visit Sonoma are pretty diverse. Like the raceway and the wine industry alone would tell you that there's two different types of people that necessarily come. So I'm guessing that there's probably more beer drinkers who visit the raceway than wine drinkers.
They are very different. You always think of like the raceway guy being some dirty, grungy mechanic crawling around on his back, and the wine guy, spitting the wine back out at some, you know, wine tasting party with cheese. But I mean, especially with the area specifically, a lot of those guys drive by the racetrack, and I've met a couple where they get interested in it.
You know, those of us who don't have, you know, the budget to go out and, you know, buy a brand new car and go tear it up on the track, we buy a $300 car and put $10,000 worth of gear into it.